Greetings from the Donald W. Reynolds Journalism Institute at the Missouri School of Journalism. Today we're going to talk to RJI fellow Melba Newsome. Her project is about diversity and inclusiveness in the newsroom. Hi, Melba.
Hi, Randy.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty well.
And I should say Melba is a freelance journalist in Charlotte, North Carolina. So first question is, the news industry has been talking about diversity in who they hire in their newsroom for quite a while. And as you have noted in some of the pieces you write for RJI, that needle hasn't really moved that much. And so you came to us with this idea about maybe taking a different look at what goes on in the newsroom and a different aspect about diversity and inclusiveness. So can you talk a little bit about what your idea was in regards to that?
Sure. When I started looking into this, I was thinking about just the end product of what comes out of the newsroom, how much diversity is reflected in the kind of stories they're told, how people are depicted. And so that's where I took this from, because when the Kerner Commission gave its report more than 50 years ago, it talked about the lack of diversity in newsrooms and the impact that had on the way we covered politics and race. And there was a effort or a lot of talk around diversified in newsrooms, and that's happened in fits and starts. You'll bring in some people, people of color, but it's never gotten to the level where it matches the population. And so my idea was, let's focus on the end product. How do we get the news itself? Because obviously it's taken 5 decades and we still haven't gotten that reflected in the hiring. So let's start with the journalists and ask them how you make your reporting more reflective of the communities that you serve.
So what are some ideas about how journalists in the newsroom can reach source diversity, can make that happen?
When I did a survey of the reporters that are participating in this project from the 3 different newsrooms, they all said that they felt diversity was incredibly important, and they understood the why and what it means, but they just don't know how to go about getting it, because they go to their same sources, or if it's a new reporter who comes in, then they will go to someone who's been there a while and ask them for their list of sources. And if you're not from a community or steeped in that community, you really don't know how to go about doing it. So that's where we're working to help them curate their own list, redefining what an expert is. That's the crux of what we're doing right now.
Another point you make is that diversity and inclusiveness is not just good journalism, but it's also good business.
As a person of color, if I don't see myself reflected in the reporting, I don't really identify with it, and I may think that magazine, that publication is not for me. So people need to feel like they can see themselves in the stories that you do. So that's what I mean about it's good business to just not stick with the same old, same old.
What should we look forward to once your fellowship is finished?
My hope is to have something written down that anyone can pick up, any newsroom can pick up as a template and use that if they want to increase source diversity.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Melba.
Thank you, Randy. I appreciate it.
If you want more information about Melba's project, you can visit our website, rjionline.org.